Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna go over this real quick. Cern, if people don't know what that is, it's this large hadron collider, and in the short, it's underground, a large circle, miles long, and what they do is apparently they shoot some kind of particles around this thing at the speed of light, and I think collide them together. And in doing this, they're doing all types of research to, what they say is, uncover what the universe is made of and how the universe works. I don't understand why people spend the money to do these things. To start it off, their company logo has 666 wrapped around the name of their company. So, I mean, what were you thinking when you put that logo together for your company? If you're not related to the devil and you're not trying to do things for the devil, why would you allow whoever created your company logo to put 666 around it? And they do it in an undercover way so that people just don't notice it, but it's right there in front of you. And even if that's not what it represents, that's what it looks like. So why would you keep it that way? That just sounds like something's not right out of the gate, right? And then they have a statue that was apparently given to them by India. And what it is it's a Hindu god, Shiva. Now, Shiva is the god of destruction. Now, if you look into Shiva, when they say destruction, apparently Shiva destroys all things, even evil. And as you go through it, it kind of looks more along the lines of Shiva is supposed to be the god of destruction, but a good destruction. I'm for Jesus Christ, not for Hindu gods. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about those things. I'm not versed on that stuff. I don't believe in it at all. But if you look that up, you'll see it. So here we have CERN 666 logo with the god of destruction outside of their building. All that is just really, really odd, right? And they have apparently in 2012, they discovered a particle which was nicknamed the God particle. Now, here we are talking about scientists who don't seem to believe in God because they're trying to find out how the universe was made and how it works. Well, I can tell you how it was made and how it works. All you got to do is read the Bible. God made the earth, and that's how it works. So what are you looking for? So this particle that they have, they call it the God particle. And Stephen Hawking, if anybody knows who that is, Steve is apparently a very intelligent man. He's accredited as one of the smartest guys ever. He says that this God particle could destroy the universe and we would never even see it coming. Now, they just push that aside. But for somebody to make that claim, that's a big claim. We're not talking about destroying a city. We're talking about the universe, which is everything beyond what you can't even see that far. So him to make that claim would raise red flag. You would think would raise red flags. Again, I don't know. They say that the potential, if something were to go wrong with the Hadron Collider, that the explosion that this thing could create would obliterate a large metropolitan area. the shock wave that it would create would decimate everything in its path, and the heat wave that it would create would incinerate everything around it. Now, the heat wave that this thing generates is 9.9 trillion degrees. That's like 250,000 times hotter than the sun. 9.9 trillion degrees. And they brag about this like they have done something wonderful. They just fired this thing up again. Okay, apparently it was down for years. They've just fired this thing up again. Who knows what that's going to turn into? There's a lot of conspiracy around this hadron collider. And again, conspiracy theories are the easy way to just get things brushed under the rug, right? Because if somebody says, look, this is what may happen, and the person that's out there doing the bad deed says, oh, that's just a conspiracy. You know, these crazy conspiracy people, they put tinfoil hats on and all that stuff. That's just an easy way to discredit the claim. Meanwhile, who knows what they're doing in the background? Who knows if they're getting ready to blow up the world or blow up your city or whatever. It's in Switzerland. And apparently it's a major deal. But the conspiracies are that they are collecting matter from this situation. And the matter is dark matter. Now, what they say about dark matter is dark matter is collected, and if dark matter is released to the earth, it could potentially destroy the earth. They also say that the Hadron Collider can open up black holes. So we have heard from science that out in space, there's these black holes, right? I could be wrong, but I believe they're the byproduct of a star exploding. Anyway, potentially black hole could be a different dimension. Now, if you look at it from a religious point, when you talk about dimension, you may be talking about Earth and potentially where God is. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, the Bible doesn't speak of any of that stuff. I mean, it talks about heaven. It talks about 3 different areas of heaven. You know, it literally, the Bible speaks of, you know, the sky that we see is part of heaven, right? And then past that is space, which is part of heaven. So it's hard to say, right? Again, I'm no scientist. These are just things I'm reading. But you're talking about a black hole, potentially maybe letting something through the black hole. You know, because if you believe in God, then you got to believe in the devil. So if you believe in the good side of God and the bad side of the devil, is it possible that something bad could come out of this black hole if they're actually producing one? I mean, could this be the gate of hell that we read about? Could this be the bottomless pit? You know, these scientists will open this black hole, and next thing you know, demons are coming out of it. I mean, there's the show Stranger Things, right? I mean, that's basically telling you exactly what potentially these conspiracy theorists are saying is there's a black hole out there, just like you see on Stranger Things. They crawl through this hole. Now they're in the upside down, which is, you know, a whole different type of area, you know, in a different dimension. All this stuff sounds crazy, but at the same time, why would you put all this money into these things? Why would you spend this much time on these things? You're so into finding out how the universe was made. And if you're into that, then you don't believe in God. But you call the particle that you've discovered the God particle. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then you have a Hindu god of destruction outside of your establishment, and it's almost like it's like this point of worship to these people. So you don't believe in these things, obviously, but you're pushing to find out how the universe was made, and then you're using God's name and everything else. These are things that are pushed aside and nobody brings them up. These are things that are just conspiracies crazy. Don't believe what the conspiracy theories say. It's serious. It's all serious. You got to look into it. You got to see. Who knows how many high-powered people have their money stuffed into this program. But I'm sure we would be shocked if we all knew who was funding these kind of things, because to spend this much time doesn't make any sense. If you think about science and how much money they spend on science for certain things, it's really disheartening, because why are we so obsessed with going to Mars? Why is anybody spending money to go to Mars? What are we going to do on Mars? We're gonna fly out there and build a big city and live there? No, it's not going to happen. What are you going to find life on Mars? It's not going to happen either. Why do we do these things? Why do we spend this much money on this stuff? Why are we trying to figure out how the universe was made? Because you're under the impression it's going to help us in some way? It's not. God's going to help you. That's it. Science always overdoes it. They always go overboard with everything that they're trying to do. And in reality, you just need to sit back and let God take care of things. But we can't get on the same page. This hadron collider is apparently going to run for the next 3 years. So they're shooting these particles around a circle at the speed of light, I'm assuming for 3 years, seeing what they can come up with, seeing how matter is made, and so on and so on. It sounds like a bad deal. It really sounds like a bad deal. I mean, they got the mark of the beast on the front of their building. They got an odd Shiva god of destruction as a worshiping point in the middle of their building, and they call it the God particle. And it was recommended by one of the most brilliant men of all time that this could potentially end the entire universe. Let me know what you think. Do me a favor, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.